Haven't heard too much about this game, but I'm sure it's going to be pretty good. Nah, I don't have director's commentary.
Esther, I sometimes feel as if I've given birth to this island. Somewhere between the longitude and latitude, a split opened up, and it beached remotely here. No matter how hard I correlate, it remains a singularity, an alpha point in my life that refuses all hypothesis. I return each time leaving fresh markers that I hope, in the full glare of my hopelessness, will have blossomed into fresh insight in the interim.
Looks unreal. Sounds unbelievable. Water looks pretty cool. I don't know if I can go out.
Come back.
Alright. Don't go in the water. Oh, you can go in the water and get yourself a trophy for drowning. Okay. Let's check this out. Almost a little bit spooky. Let's get out of there. It's not fun. Man, the game looks unreal. I think there's a whole lot to it. I'll have to come back down and go back down there. That's alright. I might... We'll be right.
Donnelly reported the legend of the hermit, a holy man who sought solitude in its most pure form. Allegedly, he rode here from the mainland in a boat without a bottom, so all the creatures of the sea could rise at night to converse with him. How disappointed he must have been with their chatter. Perhaps now, when all that haunts the ocean is the rubbish dumped from the tankers, he'd find more peace. They say he threw his arms wide in a valley on the south side, and the cliff opened up to provide him shelter. They say he died of fever 116 years later. The shepherds left gifts for him at the mouth of the cave, but Donnelly records they never claimed to have seen him. I have visited the cave and I have left my gifts, but like them, I appear to be an unworthy subject of his solitude.
Can he make it? No. I don't really know what's the go in this game. Like, I'm pretty sure it's more atmosphere driven than like other gameplay. I don't think there's too much gameplay, to be honest.
There was once talk of a wind farm out here, away from the rage and the intolerance of the masses. The sea, they said, is too rough for the turbines to stand. They clearly never came here to experience the becalming for themselves. Personally, I would have supported it. Turbines would be a fitting contemporary refuge for a hermit. The revolution and the permanence. Dear Esther, I found myself to be as featureless as this ocean, as shallow and unoccupied as this bay, a listless wreck without identification. My rocks are these bones, and a careful fence to keep the precipice at bay. Shot through me caves, my forehead a mount. This aerial will transmit into me so. All overexposed, the nervous system, where Donnelly's boots and yours and mine still trample. I will carry a torch for you. I will leave it at the foot of my headstone. You will need it for the tunnels that carry me under.
And we're back up. That's where we fell off. Looks unbelievable.
Donnelly's book had not been taken out from the library since 1974. I decided it would never be missed as I slipped it under my coat and avoided the librarian's gaze on the way out. If the subject matter is obscure, the writer's literary style is even more so. It is not the text of a stable or trustworthy reporter. Perhaps it is fitting that my only companion in these last days should be a stolen book written by a dying man. When someone had died or was dying, or was so ill they gave up what little hope they could sacrifice, They cut parallel lines into the cliff, exposing the white chalk beneath. You could see them from the mainland or the fishing boats, and know to send aid or impose a cordon of protection, and wait a generation until whatever pestilence stalked the cliff paths died along with its hosts. My lines are just for this, to keep any would-be rescuers at bay. The infection is not simply of the flesh. They were God-fearing people, those shepherds. There was no love in the relationship. Donnelly tells me that they had one Bible that was passed around in strict rotation. It was stolen by a visiting monk in 1776, 2 years before the island was abandoned altogether. In the interim, I wonder, did they assign chapter and verse to the stones and grasses, marking the geography with a superimposed significance that they could actually walk the Bible and inhabit its contradictions? Dear Esther, I met Paul. I made my own little pilgrimage. My Damascus, a small semi-detached on the outskirts of Wolverhampton. We drank coffee in his kitchen and tried to connect to one another. Although he knew I hadn't come in search of an apology, reason or retribution, he still spiraled in panic, thrown high and lucid by his own dented bonnet. Responsibility had made him old. Like us, he'd already passed beyond any conceivable boundary of life.
I wonder if there's any way to get over there. We gotta go to the cave first. That looks like that's more the end goal. Oh, there's a path on there, you idiot.
This hermit, this seer, this distant historian of bones and old bread, where did he vanish to? Why, asked the farmers. Why, asked Jacobson. Why bother with your visions at all, if you're just to throw your arms up at the cliff and let it close in behind you and seal you into the belly of the island, a museum shut to all but the most devoted?
I dreamt I stood in the center of the sun, and the solar radiation cooked my heart from the inside. My teeth will curl and my fingernails fall off into my pockets like loose change. If I could stomach, I'd eat, but all I seem capable of is salt water. Were the livestock still here, I could turn feral and gorge. I'm as emaciated as a body on a slab, opened up for a premature source of death. I've rowed to this island in a heart without a bottom, all the bacteria of my gut rising up to sing to me.
My God. Those pillars we could see before. Up there. Where to now? I have a feeling this might be a dead end, but hey, we'll try it anyway. Yeah, no thank you. There we go, I think that's level 1 done. I don't know how many levels there are, but...
Dear Esther, I have now driven the stretch of the M5 between Exeter and Bristol over 21 times. But although I have all the reports and all the witnesses, and have cross-referenced them within a millimetre using my Ordnance Survey maps, I simply cannot find the location. You'd think there would be marks to serve as some evidence. It's somewhere between the turn-off for Sanford and the welcome brake services, but although I can always see it in my rear-view mirror, I have as yet been unable to pull ashore.
Left or right? Oh, we'll go left. Just when I think you couldn't get a little bit piggly wiggly in the audience. Mate, if I could get a chore, this is a chore and a half. Ooh. Come on, mate. Come on. Hey, feel free to hop on and join me for special comments. I don't know. Like, this isn't just skipping that bit. I might have to go back. We put the frying pan on hot, and whoa, she cooking. Just a bit of a shout out to big yarn mate, or the Boris, freshly in his new home, the new sty, if you will. Oh wow. Might have gone the wrong way first up. Might have to go back just in case it triggers the voice animation for a bit of a FYI. No, not creepy at all. Not creepy at all. Check down over here and get a better view on the ship.
There must be a hole in the bottom of the boat. How else could new hermits have arrived?
Wow, more of those symbols. More of those hermits. That makes me feel good that we're not alone. Makes me feel great. Alright, I'm just going to walk back up this footpath, just make sure I haven't missed anything.
I had kidney stones and you visited me in the hospital. After the operation, when I was still half submerged in anesthetic, your outline and your speech both blurred. Now my stones have grown into an island and made their escape, and you have been rendered opaque by the car of a drunk.
My god, that's a bit harsh. If I've accidentally skipped some. Just in case we have. Oh well.
What charnel house lies at the foot of this abyss? How many dead shepherds could fill this hole?
I think it's pretty obvious we have to jump into it.
Come back.
And another trophy. That's what we want. Yes! Sure. Which way did we come? I think we came from that way. I guess we know, like, the game likes you to kill yourself.
I've begun my ascent on the windless slope of the western side. The setting sun was an inflamed eye squeezing shut against the light shone in by the doctors. My neck is aching through constantly craning my head up to track the light of the aerial. I must look downwards, follow the path under the island to a new beginning. The bothy was constructed originally in the early 1700s. By then, shepherding had formalized into a career. The first habitual shepherd was a man called Jakobsen, from a lineage of migratory Scandinavians. He was not considered a man of breeding by the mainlanders. He came here every summer whilst building the bothy, hoping eventually that becoming a man of property would secure him a wife and a lineage. Donnelly records that it did not work. He caught some disease from his malcontented goats and died 2 years after completing it. There was no one to carve white lines into the cliff for him either. Inventory. A trestle table we spread wallpaper on in our first home. A folding chair. I laughed at you for bringing camping in the lakes. I was uncomfortable later and you laughed then. This diary, the bed with the broken springs. Once asleep you have to remember not to dream. A change of clothes. Donnelly's book, stolen from Edinburgh Library on the way here. I will burn them all on the last morning and make an aerial of my own.
Exactly the honeymoon suite. No, you can do a lot worse. Skip this bit, so I think we're going back. Yeah, I'm not too good with direction.
In a footnote, The editor comments that at this point Donnelly was going insane as syphilis tore through his system like a drunk driver. He's not to be trusted. Many of his claims are unsubstantiated, and although he does paint a colourful picture, much of what he says may have been derived directly from his fever. But I've been here, and I know, as Donnelly did, that this place is always half imagined. Even the rocks and caves will shimmer and blur with the right eyes. They found Jakobsen in early spring. The thaw had only just come. Even though he'd been dead nearly 7 months, his body had been frozen right down to the nerves and had not even begun to decompose. His fingernails were raw and bitten to the quick. They found the phosphorescent moss that grows in the caves deep under the nails. Whatever he'd been doing under the island when his strength began to fail is lost. He'd struggled halfway up the cliff again, perhaps in a delirium, perhaps trying to reach the Bothy's fire before curling into a stone and expiring.
That's one way to paint a picture. I don't know why it came this way, but just in case. I can't try and swim. I wonder if we'll see the body. Kind of hope not.
Climbing down to the caves, I slipped and fell and have injured my leg. I think the femur is broken. It is clearly infected. The skin has turned a bright, tight pink, and the pain is crashing in on waves, winter tides against my shoreline, drowning out the ache of my stones. I struggled back to the bothy to rest, but it has become clear that there is only one way this is likely to end. The medical supplies I looted from the trawler have suddenly found their purpose. They will keep me lucid for my final ascent.
I wonder where he fell. What is that? It's a briefcase. Didn't actually mean to fall into that.
From here, this last time, I have understood there is no turning back. The torch is failing along with my resolve. And hear the singing of the sea creatures from the passages above me, and they are promising the return of the gulls.
Oh, here we go. Just a couple of candles, you know. Didn't fall from that far. We didn't land on any of these. Oh, no, this water doesn't kill us. It's always a win.
It was as if someone had taken the car and shaken it like a cocktail. The glove compartment had been opened and emptied with the ashtrays and the boot. It made for a crumpled museum, a shattered exhibition. I don't know, it kind of reminds me of like a Skyrim cave. Like, not really that big, you know, there's no skeletons walking around. Yet, hopefully. Oh wow. Look at that. Just going straight into the water. I get to swim. See, don't always die. Go back under. Yeah. What's that? What we just did? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Burgess ruin, maybe? Okay. Oh. That's where we're going. East Coast. I'll be journeying to the center of the earth. Little mushrooms, little shrooms, a little bit of magic. Oh, wow. Okay.
If the caves are my guts, this must be the place where the stones are first formed. The bacteria phosphoresce and rise, singing through the tunnels. Everything here is bound by the rise and fall, like a tide. Perhaps the whole island is actually underwater.
That's one way to think about it. And once again we're hit with left or right. I think we're supposed to be going up, so I might just do a quick detour. And don't kill me. Don't kill me. Okay, just back up. Further down, then cross. Here we go. Couple of Donji. I don't think he needs money, but if he did... Any trolls under the bridge? Wow, is this the way to go instead of up the bridge? dead end. Oh wow. How much faster you go swimming? Ah, I got the stream. A lot longer than it should have. Here we go, picking up the pace. Here you go, mate. Oh. Now that's really cool. Alright, I didn't think you'd go left, so that's why. But I'll check. Oh, look at the shine. Look at the shine move. Look at that. Not bad, Chinese.
I will
move.
hold the hand you offered to me. From the summit down to this well, into the dark waters where the small flowers creep for the sun. Headlights are reflected in your retinas, moonlit in the shadow of the crematorium chimney.
Do we reckon that's instant death? Oh, I'm not sure if I'm ballsy enough. Oh. We definitely sink. Alright, we're getting out of there. What is on the way? Oh, it ain't that bad. No, you just can't swim in the ocean. But, you know, water in the cave's fine. Don't bring in the ocean. A few more candles, more diamonds. Oh no, they're the shrooms, sorry. Behold. Damascus. Something taken. A lot of paint down here. Oh. Yeah, not exactly a great vibe down here. away from being a pity. He shall be a purpose. Yeah, I'm having a bit of issues reading these boys. And the lighting's on me, I don't know where it's coming from. Bunch of glowworms. Even the shrooms, actually, sorry, yeah. The old glowy mushies. Even more swimming. And dive down. I don't know if he runs out of breath or not, but let's not find out. Oh, walking on the water? Look at that, huh? Bang. Oh, I was trying to go around. I didn't know if we were supposed to go down there or not. I'm gonna say we were. And we've made it to Atlantis. This. It looks like there's sand everywhere. Okay. I don't think that's... It's a hospital bed, but... Why? Where does it say we are? Alright, so this doesn't trigger anything. If that had anything to do with his wife. That was cool. That was very cool. Definitely different. Wonder if we're out of the caves. Would you take a look at that? Turn left or right. I forgot what Jack Reach used to do.
I sat here and watched two jets carve parallel white lines into the sky. They charted their course, and I followed them for 21 minutes until they turned off near Sanford and were lost. If I were a gull, I would abandon my nest and join them. I would starve my brain of oxygen and suffer delusions of transcendence. I would tear the bottom from my boat and sail across the motorways until I reached this island once again.
So we go the other way anyway. Man, the lighthouse is close. Don't know if it's a lighthouse. Or just assumed. Yeah, that's the risk I'm gonna take. I have to do a few loops. There's a few different ways I could have gone there. Make sure we don't miss it on the story. It's not the pier I just walked down on, is it? There's a few more candles, because you know, never get a waste. Getting this visually stunning. It's just, it's about a chore and a half of just visuals. I'll go this way and I'll go back to where I can turn right, just to make sure we don't miss anything. Didn't really turn out to be a shortcut. Another bucket. From all the paint. The Torben, what is it? Luminous. Longer lasting. It's a big promise. Yeah, missed out on nothing. That's a person. My god. That's great. That's exactly what we want. smashed car.
We shall begin to assemble our own version of the North Shore. We will scrawl in dead languages and electrical diagrams and hide them away for future theologians to muse and mumble over. We will send a letter to Esther Donnelly and demand her answer. We will mix the paint with ashes and tarmac and the glow from our infections. We will paint a moon over the Sanford Junction and blue lights falling like stars along the hard shoulder.
Okay. That guy's not there anymore, I swear to God. Okay. Make sure we didn't miss anything from here. Is it a rock? Yeah, it's a rock. No, I don't think we missed anything. I don't think we missed anything at all. Great reason not to backtrack. And on we go. Didn't really get that last picture. I don't know if I missed something or just me being me. Still watching us. Yeah, I think these are the car parts. Yep. Could have been his partner in the last one, and I think it's piecing together that his partner died in a car crash. But what do I know?
There were chemical diagrams on the mug he gave me coffee in, sticky at the handle where his hands shook. He worked for a pharmaceutical company with an office based on the outskirts of Wolverhampton. He'd been travelling back from a sales conference in Exeter, forming a strategic vision for the peddling of antacid yogurt to the European market. You could trace the connections with your finger, join the dots, and whole new compounds would be summoned into activity. here, I can see my armada. I collected all the letters I'd ever meant to send to you, if I'd have ever made it to the mainland, but had instead collected at the bottom of my rucksack, and I spread them out along the lost beach. Then I took each and every one, and I folded them into boats. I folded you into the creases, and then, as the sun was setting, I set the fleet to sail. Shattered into 21 pieces, I consigned you to the Atlantic, and I sat here until I'd watched all of you sink.
On a sudden, a light from heaven shone around him, and he fell to the ground. Yeah, getting pretty dark. Getting pretty dark. Don't go too far after our luck with the last pier. Or ramp. I think that's the end goal up there, but I could be wrong. Could be wrong. Wouldn't be the first time. You know, I play a lot of these indie games. Like, oh, not indie, but you know what I mean. Thank you, Man of the Rocks.
I will drag my leg behind me. I will drag it like a crumpled hatchback, tires blown and sparking across the dimming lights of my vision. I'm running out of painkillers and am following the flicker of the moon home. When Paul keeled over dead on the road to Damascus, they restarted his heart with the jump leads from a crumpled hatchback. It took 21 attempts to convince it to wake up.
Bit of a fall.
I've begun my voyage in a paper boat without a bottom. I will fly to the moon in it. I've been folded along a crease in time, a weakness in the sheet of life. Now you've settled on the opposite side of the paper to me. I can see your traces in the ink that soaks through the fiber, the pulped vegetation. When we become waterlogged and the cage disintegrates, we will intermingle. When this paper aeroplane leaves the cliff edge and carves parallel vapor trails in the dark, we will come together.
Oh, so this is where that guy was. Oh, he's not here anymore. That's great. And it was he proceeding on his journey. You got that right. I always love it when I can't see people anymore. It's like in Firewatch, when that guy was up that hill. That last bit.
If only Donnelly had experienced this, he would have realized he was his own shoreline, as am I.
Drink.
Just as I am becoming this island, so he became his syphilis, retreating into the burning synapses, the stones, the infection.
That was 3 days without sight. Mr. Candle, how are you? Look at that. That's unreal. Yeah, I'll take the stairs.
Returning to my car afterwards, hands still shaking, and a head split open by the impact. Goodbye to tearful aunts and traumatized uncles. Goodbye to the phenomenal. Goodbye to the tangible. Goodbye Wolverhampton. Goodbye Sanford. Goodbye Cromer. Goodbye Damascus. This cliff path is slippery in the dew. It is hard to climb with such an infection. I must carve out the bad flesh and sling it from the aerial. I must become infused with the very air.
Just take that in. Know what he just said about his wife? That's pretty tragic. I'm in the view. Not that much of a savage. No flashlight. Came to passes. Wonder if this will be the day he ascended. As I made the journey. And yes. No, I can't read that. God. Don't know where this island is, but hey, great holiday destination. Just, don't drive. Too soon. I wonder if old mate's gonna be up there.
He was not drunk, Esther.
Maybe.
He was not drunk at all. He had not drunk with Donnelly or spat Jakobsen back at the sea. He had not careered across the lost shores and terminal beaches of this nascent archipelago. He did not intend his bonnet to be crumpled like a spent tissue by the impact. His windscreen was not star-studded all over like a map of the heavens. his paintwork etched with circuit diagrams, strange fish to call the gulls away. The phosphorescence of the skid marks lighting the M5 all the way from Exeter to Damascus. Run out of places to climb. I will abandon this body and take to the air.
Oh, I think it's pretty obvious what we're about to do.
Dear Esther, I have burnt my belongings, my books, this death certificate. Mine will be written all across this island. Who was Jakobsen? Who remembers him? Donnelly has written of him, but who was Donnelly? Who remembers him? I have painted, carved, hewn, scored into this space all that I could draw from him. There will be another to these shores to remember me. I will rise from the ocean like an island without bottom, come together like a stone, become an aerial, a beacon, that they will not forget you. We've always been drawn here. One day the gulls will return and nest in our bones and our history. I will look to my left and see Esther Donnelly flying beside me. I will see Paul Jakobsen flying beside me. They will leave white lines carved into the air to reach the mainland, where help will be sent.
That was nice. That was really nice.
Come back.
That was good. It was very good. Anyway, I'm going to end it here, guys. Thank you for that, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed as much as I did. Recommend getting that, playing yourself. Maybe take a little bit less time, a little bit more time, exploring the joint. But yeah, nice.